Today I will be teaching you about genetics. So the first thing we need to know is we need to know where to find genes. Now first there's the cell. And there are trillions of cells in your body, and each one contains about 25,000 to 35,000 genes in it. Now in the middle of the cell, there's the nucleus. And in the nucleus there are tons of tiny little chromosomes. Now chromosomes have two parts and are connected in the middle by the centromere. So chromosomes are composed of DNA, which is where your genetic code is found. And if you take just a tiny portion of that DNA, you'll find a gene. There are hundreds, sometimes thousands of genes in just one chromosome, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Genes carry the information that determines your features or characteristics that are passed on to you or inherited from your parents. Alleles. Alleles are just a form of a gene. They help us map out genetics, and they signify a specific gene. So we're going to be talking about eyes today. So first there's the brown eyes, and the allele for that is a big B. And so then there's the blue eyes, and the allele for that is a little b. And like I said, the alleles, they just show us what a specific gene is, and they just go in place of that. So the big B, the brown eyes, is the dominant gene, and the little b is the recessive gene. This means that if you have a big B and a little b gene, then the big B will overpower the little b because it's the dominant gene. So we'll make our little family here, and we'll have the mom, she'll have brown eyes, and then the dad, he'll have blue eyes. So we'll just make little spots above their head where we can write the genes in. And so the mom, we know, has to have a big B because she has brown eyes. And we don't know her other one because whether she has a big B or a little b, she'll still have brown eyes. So the dad, he has blue eyes, which means he can only have two little b's, because if he had a big B, then that means that he would have brown eyes instead of blue eyes. So let's just add in their parents, and let's say that the mom's mom had a big B. Now that would mean that their child, we don't know her eye color yet, so we'll just add in some of the things right there. That would mean that the daughter would have to get a little b from her father because he only has little b's to give her, and she'd have to get a big B from her mother because she only has big b's to give her. Now doing this would give her the dominant gene, and she would have brown eyes because the big B overpowers the little b, so she'd have brown eyes. But let's say that instead the mom, her mom gave her a little b. So now she had a big B and a little b. So instead, let's say that the mom didn't give her child her big B, she gave her little b. So now the girl's eyes wouldn't be brown anymore. It would be blue because now she has the recessive gene. And this is how genetics works in a family tree. So what is a genotype? A genotype is the particular genes an individual carries. For example, a big B and a big B, or a big B and a little b, or a little b and a little b. Now what is a phenotype? A phenotype is the physical expression, or for example, brown and blue. So that would be what it actually looks like in real life. So next we're going to talk about homozygous and heterozygous. So these are just some words we use to help more easily describe what genes a person has. So first there's homozygous. So in this, the alleles are identical. So like a big B and a big B, or a little b and a little b. But to make it even more specific, a big B and a big B would be homozygous dominant, while a little b and a little b would be homozygous recessive, because it's got the dominant gene and it's got the recessive gene. And then there's heterozygous. Heterozygous, the alleles are different, such as a big B and a little b. So in this diagram, the dad would have the homozygous recessive gene, and the mom would have the heterozygous gene. And their daughter would have the homozygous recessive gene as well, just like her father. So we're going to show that the brown allele is a big B, the blue allele is little b, and we're going to draw our family again. This time we'll give our mom blue eyes, and we'll give our dad brown eyes. So that, of course, means that the mom needs to have two little b's, because if she had a big B, it would overpower her blue genes. And the dad needs to have a big B. We'll give him 2 big B's just to make everything easier. And then if they had a kid, we'll draw the kid in. And the kid needs to have 1 big B from his dad, because that's the only thing he can give him. 1 blue B, 1 little B from his mom, because that's the only thing she can give him. And so, of course, he'll have brown eyes. And now we're going to draw a Punnett square. So a Punnett square is what we use to predict the genotypes of a particular cross or breeding experiment. So this just means that we determine what the kid will have depending on what the parents will have using the Punnett square. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put the dad on the top and the mom on the side. So what you do is you get the dad's first allele and you put it on the first column. And then you get the dad's second allele and you put it on the second column. And you do the same thing for the mom, but you put it on the sides. So the first one goes in the first column, the second one goes in the second column. And then after you do that, you're going to want to solve it. So first you grab the B from the dad's and you put it there. And then you put it right there. And then you just keep solving it and putting them all together. So then you solve for the little b's and you realize that no matter what happens or which genes the parents give to the child, it will always have a big B and a little b, or be heterozygous. Now let's see what happens if instead the dad didn't have 2 big B's, he had a big B and a little b. So now the child would either get the big B from his father or the little b from his father, which can change what color eyes he gets. So now he has a big B and a little b, or a little b and a little b. So now we don't know what color his eyes are, so this is where the Punnett square comes in handy. So we'll put the moms on first. The mom has a little b and a little b, so we'll put those on there. And the dad now has a big B and a little b. So we'll put those on there, and now we'll solve it. We'll put the big B's on there, and then the little b's. And after we do all that, we find out that half of the squares are big B and a little b, and half of the squares are 2 little b's. This means that it is a 50-50 chance that the child will get either a big B and a little b, or a little b and a little b. So they can either have brown eyes or blue eyes. And this is how we use Punnett squares. And this is the beginning of genetics. The end. Thank you for watching.